everyone, Amber here. Welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, I wanted to quickly share with you guys how to make some super cute, itty bitty, teeny tiny mini rosettes. They are so adorable and I love using these to add a little bit of flair to my projects. So you can make them using patterned paper like you can see here, or you can make them using some plain white cardstock or black cardstock, whatever color you want. I do like the white cardstock because you can make like a bulk batch and then have a whole bunch stored away to use on any project. The patterned paper ones, depending on the pattern, might only match certain ones, but it's totally up to you what kind of paper you want to use. No matter what you choose, it's going to turn out adorable. So I will show you a couple of things you can do with these little mini rosettes. So of course you can just slap some adhesive onto the back and glue it down to your project, or you can get a bit more crafty. So here are some little picks I made. So I just took the rosette and hot glued it to the back, and then I wrapped some pipe cleaner, some gold pipe cleaner around a couple times, and then cut it and wedged it down so that the pipe cleaner won't poke anyone. And then I also wrapped double knotted some gold and white twine right under that and then frayed out the edges, and I think that it turned out super cute. And this can be used as an embellishment on a project, or you can even use it as like a cupcake topper for a birthday party, so super versatile. I also made some little clips with them. Once again, super easy, super fast to do. I just took a large gold paper clip that I got at Staples, and then I hot glued it to the back and secured it down with a little circle. So I think this would look really cute in a planner, just sticking up out of the top, or you can clip it to some Happy Mail, like a loaded bag or something, and send it out. And another option I have is, of course, to make a little goodie pack of them to send to a pen pal or friend. So super simple. I just used some little square foam dots and put those on the back and then put them down on the paper so they will come off super easy. And I just included 4 in this. This bag measures 3 1/4 by 4 1/4. So 4 fit in there very nicely, and I will decorate it up later depending on what mail I send it in. So now I will show you the tools that you're going to need to put these little rosettes together. You're going to need a circle punch. This one is 5/8 of an inch, and it's by Recollections from Michaels. And then this one I think I got from Joann's a while ago. It's a little heart punch, and it's by Fiskars. I like to use the heart as a little topper here, and I like to use the circle as the back, which holds the rosette together. You're also going to need some scissors, some sparkly gold paper if that is what you want to use to top the rosettes off, some plain cardstock to use as the backing, and a hot glue gun. Hot glue is perfect for this project because it dries really fast, and that's kind of what you want for a project like this. So there are 2 ways to make these rosettes. You can make them by hand, which I prefer if I am just making one rosette for a certain project, or you can make a bulk batch if you want a whole bunch of the same kind, which is super easy too. So I'll show you here just kind of how I did that. I took a piece of paper that measured 7 3/4 inch by about 5 inches. The only one that really matters is the 7 3/4 inch. That is how long we want our strip of paper to be. And whatever length you decide for this side is just going to determine how many rosettes you get from this piece of paper. So for every inch of paper you will get 2 rosettes. So if you did 7 3/4 inch by 12 inches, you could get 24 little strips to make rosettes out of. So all I did was put this up in my scoreboard at with the 7 3/4 inch side up against the top of the scoreboard, and then I scored all the way across at 1/4 inch, and you can see here that's kind of what it looks like. And then once that was done, I just flipped my paper to this side so that the 7 3/4 was now on this side, and then I cut it into little 1/2 inch strips. So I got about 5 of these out of this paper already. So if you have a pattern of paper or just plain cardstock and you want to make a whole bunch at once, this would be the way to go. Much quicker to make a whole bunch at once like this than to do so by folding them by hand. So that is one way to do that, and I will leave all the measurements down in the description below. The other way is to just take a piece of paper that measures 7 3/4 inch by 1/2 inch, and then you're just going to kind of guesstimate 1/4 inch and then fold off of that. So I will do one of each to show you what they look like. The one that is scored will look a bit more symmetrical all the way around, while the one that is folded by hand, some of the ridges might be a little bit different. So this one was scored, and then this one was folded by hand. So you can see a little bit different, but pretty much the same thing. So it just depends on your preference. So I will start with the one that is already scored. So how you want to start it is you always want to have the side that you want facing upwards. You want to have that toward yourself, and you're going to start the first fold away from you. And then make sure it's straight. And then the next fold will be back towards yourself. And then the next fold away from you, and so on. That is just a simple accordion fold, and you want to end up with a whole bunch of ridges like this. So I'm just going to continue to fold up on all my score lines. Alright, so you should end up with something like this. So the end goal that you want here is one side to be facing down and one side to be facing up. I did not get a up facing side on this one, so I'm just going to trim off that last little rectangle. So you want one side facing down and one facing up so that you can attach them together like this to create another little ridge in your rosette. So this is what's going to be holding your rosette together. So to do that, you just want to add a little bit of hot glue and then seal it down together. Alright, so you should have something that looks like this in the end. So now I will show you how to do this same thing just by folding by hand. So it's the same idea, but to start it off, you're just going to kind of guesstimate what 1/4 inch would look like. And of course, you're going to fold away from yourself to start. And try to keep it straight. So you'll have something that looks like this. And then you're just going to go in that same accordion fold pattern. So you're going to go back on that, and then forward, and then back, and just keep doing that all the way down. Alright, so you will get something, like I said, it's very similar to this, pretty much identical. Again, you want one side facing down and one facing up, and I missed the mark on that one again as well. So just going to trim off that extra little piece. And once you have one side facing down and one facing up, you're just going to adhere it together. And now you can see we have two very similar rosette templates to work with. So now the next step is to actually form this little shape. So the first thing you're going to need to do that is your little circle punch. If you don't have a circle punch, you can just cut a little circle or square out from paper. You basically just want to get something that on the back, which isn't going to show, so it doesn't matter how pretty it looks, just to make sure it's going to hold everything together. So I'm just going to punch 2 little circles out of my white cardstock. And now, to make this shape, what you want to do is take your little template and you're going to kind of push it down so that it's flat. And it's best to do this against a surface. And once you get it flat, you just kind of want to push it into itself. So the paper, due to all of the little fold lines, it's going to want to kind of do its own thing. So you're going to have to work with it. And I like to kind of do this before I decide to glue, so that way it kind of has an idea of the shape that it needs, and it will be easier to do that. So you want to do that first, and then you're going to take your little circle and you want to add a decent amount of hot glue, but you don't want to overload it, just enough that it's going to hold it all together. So add a little bit of glue, take your rosette, flatten it and push it in together, and then transfer it to that circle that has the glue on it. Make sure it's centered in the back, and then just hold it down and let it dry and adhere to itself. So this is honestly probably the most tedious, challenging part of putting these together, because it does take some time to get the hang of forming the rosette itself. So now we want to just cover up this little part in the middle where it all meets, because there's a gap and it doesn't look totally cute. And that is where I like to add a little circle or heart with some glitter gold paper. So I'm just going to punch a heart. And then all I'm going to do is just add some hot glue to this and then glue it down onto the rosette. And there you can see we have a super, super cute little teeny tiny rosette. So I will do this one, which we folded by hand, so you can see that you get the same result. Alright, and there are the 2 little rosettes that we made. They are super cute and super tiny and would look perfect on any project that you are working on. So I hope that you guys found this tutorial helpful. I hope that you enjoyed the video. If you did, please leave a like and subscribe if you haven't already for more craft related videos like this. If you have any questions or comments, leave them down below in the comment section and I will get back to you. And if you decide to make these little rosettes, I would love to see how you make them and what projects you use them on. So please feel free to tag me on Instagram at BambiSmail. I will have that link down below in the description box. Alright you guys, take care and happy crafting. Bye!